Coming up, find out how a proposed bill may change when you vote in Athens.
Find out what the university is doing to fight obesity statewide.
From the University of Georgia, a student production from the Grady College of Journalism. This is Grady Newsource.
An update on a story we brought to you yesterday about a meth lab bust in Oconee County. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to Grady Newsource. I'm Katie Green.
And I'm Sana Sayani. Residents of a Barrow County neighborhood can rest easy today after an eventful evening. A street off of Hoyt King Road was blocked off during a SWAT team investigation. Reporter Caroline White spoke to the neighbors who described the atmosphere last night. Caroline.
Yes, Sana. Police have a man in custody after he came home from work, fired a gun, forced his roommates out of the house, and led the police on a 3-hour-long chase.
Barrow County Police arrested John Montgomery Barr off Kings Court Road for 3 charges of assault. Neighbors were not allowed to enter or exit the neighborhood entrance until the Barrow County Police had custody of John Barr.
Everybody was informed to stay in the house. There was a few neighbors up at the top of the street where we were not allowed to come back into our neighborhood. So,
last night, the Barrow County SWAT team came to this house off of Hoyt King Road. This is where John Montgomery Barr discharged a firearm and forced his roommates out of the house.
Barr was laid off yesterday and came home very upset. Barr threatened each of his roommates to leave the house and discharged a firearm.
And wanted us to force us to get out. And at that time, we went up to the kitchen. My roommate called 911. We went out the back. As soon as we got out the back, the cop came, and when the first officer arrived, John escaped out of the house from the back.
Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith says his team searched for Barr for 3 hours.
They did say there's no way he has left. The deputies, we had one deputy in the front, one in the back, kind of surrounding the place so we could set up a situation if he did barricade himself.
The police finally captured Barr after his estranged wife turned him in.
We did get notified from his estranged wife that shortly after the incident had occurred, he quickly called her and said, "Come get me, come get me now." So she picked him up, and then about 2.5, almost 3 hours into the whole thing, she called and said, I have him.
Barr is now in custody and the neighborhood is at peace once again.
Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith says all the residents of the house and the neighbors are safe. It feels like the whole investigation ended peacefully. Live from the newsroom, Caroline White.
Thanks, Caroline. I'm glad everything ended all right.
A man convicted of murdering a Paulding County woman and her 3-year-old daughter is scheduled to be executed tonight. Nicholas Cody Tate will be put to death by lethal injection at 7 p.m. His case is unusual because he did not challenge his death sentence in court. Tate will be the 30th inmate of the Georgia Department of Corrections to be put to death by lethal injection.
Oconee County deputies are figuring out what charges to file and even maybe who to charge in a meth lab bust.
We were on the scene yesterday as deputies investigated this little house on Old Bishop Road in Oconee County. This house doesn't look out of the ordinary, but it is the site of a recent meth lab bust.
The animal control was here on the animal control complaint earlier, and they observed what they thought was some contraband in the window when they got here. Deputies were called down here, and we observed what we believe to be are components of a methamphetamine laboratory.
The owner of this house, Christopher Sumner, was not there when deputies arrived because he has been in jail since Saturday, January 28th for violating his probation on an unrelated case.
There's actually 2 or 3 separate labs running at the same time. We're still counting them, but there's at least 2 right now that are what we call wet labs.
Deputies spent over 23 hours cleaning up the meth lab. By late last night, all the chemicals had been recovered and the house is now clean.
We're staying in touch with the Oconee County Sheriff's Department and will update you when charges are filed.
Retail giant JCPenney is making major changes to their business strategy. Reporter Thanos Gutierrez says they're reacting to the lousy holiday sales.
After 110 years, JCPenney decided it's time for a change. Starting tomorrow, the retail store will roll out its new pricing and marketing strategy. This is a major departure for Penney's and the department store industry in general. Instead of relying on hundreds of promotions each year to bring customers to the store, Penney's will use a simplified, everyday, low-price strategy. This means everything in the store will now be at least 40% off, permanently. UGA finance professor Jeffrey Netter weighs in.
Their business model is not working real well, and thus their financial performance isn't going well, and thus they're not getting influx of funds, and they're not getting retained earnings to try new things, and they kind of got to try something and see if it works.
JCPenney has released several television ads like this one to let the public know about these big changes. They are also revamping their store image with new bags, price tags, and new store layouts that will feature different brands. Most noticeably, JCPenney will be incorporating a new logo meant to evoke the American flag. Popular talk show host Ellen DeGeneres will serve as the new company spokesperson. Executives say that, although they are old, they don't want to get stale. They hope these changes will bring a much-needed breath of fresh air. With Grady Newsource, I'm Thanos Gutierrez.
You can be on the lookout for JCPenney's 96-page catalog that will be mailed monthly to their 14 million customers.
Grocery shoppers in Athens will soon be able to experience honest-to-goodness savings. At least that's the claim of discount grocery chain Aldi, which is opening a store right here in Athens this Thursday. The store mainly sells Aldi brand products, which allows it to offer lower prices to its customers. Aldi also charges customers for shopping carts and plastic bags to cut costs. The store will be located at 3400 Atlanta Highway.
Students can soon enjoy more space to take advantage of their unlimited meal plans. Grady Newsource reporter Mary Ashley Tucker talked to the king of food services himself to find out what students can expect from the changes.
That's right. I actually got to speak to J. Mike today, and he is so excited to give students an upgrade. Everyone knows how cramped O House can get right after a Sunday brunch.
Oglethorpe Dining Hall is known on campus as a place to grab unlimited fried chicken and coffee. But you have to elbow your way to the front of the line to get there. The dining hall has the smallest space of all the on-campus eateries. UGA Food Services is working to make it bigger, so eating at O House is more comfortable.
Where you come into Oglethorpe Dining Commons on the right where there's tables and chairs, that's going to be a nice soft seating area. So you can come in the afternoon, sit down in a nice soft seat, get that raspberry mocha, study or visit with your friends. Again, to encourage students to use our dining commons as a gathering place.
How will they make it bigger? They're getting rid of the pool to provide seating for 250 more students. The expansion will mean newer dining options, including an extended Mexican concept and omelet line. A major component of the renovation is an advancement in student safety.
What we're going to do is that the parking area that's immediately in front of Oglethorpe Dining Commons is going to be made into a campus transit circle so that buses will no longer stop out on the street and block traffic and students are walking on the street. There's going to be a plaza there, so it's going to increase pedestrian safety and also allow students to get off the bus right at Oglethorpe Dining Commons.
With the renovation well underway, students can expect the new and improved O House to be completed by fall this year. With more space to eat and lounge, meal plan participants can comfortably let the big dog eat.
Yes, and after talking to students and staff today in O House, they are indeed excited to let the big dog eat. Back to you, Caitlin.
Thanks, Mary Ashley.
University of Georgia President Michael Adams' father, Hubert Adams, died Sunday at his home in Stone Mountain. He was 87 years old. Visitation is tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Tom M. Wages Chapel in Snellville. The funeral service will be at the same place at 11 a.m. this Thursday. Coming up, find out what UGA is doing to fight obesity.
Also, we have an update on some new legislation right here in Georgia. Stay tuned.
Congress shall make no law
respecting an establishment of religion
or prohibiting the free exercise thereof
or abridging the freedom of speech
or of the press
or the right of the people peaceably to assemble
and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
Be part of the first class. Get outside and get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at actionheroalliance.com.
Up to
40% of businesses never recover after experiencing a major disaster. Make a plan at ready.gov/business.
Hungry? Yeah. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
A legislative bill is looking to move Athens elections back from July to November. Reporter David Yeomans found out this is to increase voter turnout.
Far more UGA students will be in Athens in November, with over 35,000 people enrolled. With the change, this bill could strongly increase voter turnout. Senate Bill 298 proposes nonpartisan elections be moved from July back to November. Traditionally, smaller primaries and poll taxes made it harder for minorities to participate in the voting process. UGA political science professor Dr. Charles Bullock says many politicians hope for these smaller primaries in order to control their own fate.
A smaller electorate is one that's more easily influenced, or one might even say manipulated.
However, politicians may have to change their strategy to appeal to a broader audience. If the proposed bill were to pass, voter turnout would much likely be higher at polling places in Athens, such as Fire Station number 3 behind me.
Also in July, we're not voting on any of our state constitutional officers this year. And so while there may be an imbalance in terms of maybe more Republicans voting in July than there will be in Democrats, where if we wait until November, the presidential election, that'll bring out members of both parties.
Nonpartisan elections consist of officials who have not declared membership to a specific party. Those elections include judges as well as local officials like county commissioners. Senate Bill 298 would put these nonpartisan elections alongside the November general elections. Moving the elections to November may also give lawmakers more time to settle commission redistricting issues. Reporting live from the newsroom, I'm David Yeomans, Grady Newsource.
Thanks, David. Terminally ill children are one step closer to having the right to hunt. Today, Taylor's Law passed in the Georgia Senate with an overwhelming majority of 53-1. The current law requires anyone 16 and older to purchase a special hunting license. This bill grants special privileges to anyone 21 and younger with a terminal illness the right to hunt as long as they are under direct supervision. Taylor's Law was named in honor of Taylor Gramling. The 18-year-old passed away from leukemia. Taylor's Law will now head to the Georgia House of Representatives for a vote.
The University of Georgia is trimming the waist of the state with a new initiative to stop childhood and adult obesity. I've got reporter Wendell Scott here to tell us a little bit more about the new program. Wendell, is there any hope for Georgia to thin out?
Well, Sana, Georgia's obesity rate is at an all-time high, but with this new program, researchers are finding new ways to trim the fat.
Team members at the University of Georgia are fighting to change that image with a new obesity program.
The reason we worry about it is because obesity is linked with so many health problems. It's not just that people are overweight and feel bad they don't fit into their skinny jeans. It can lead to diabetes, heart disease, some types of cancer.
The obesity initiative is not just for the student population, but for the entire state of Georgia. Over 65% of Georgia adults are overweight or obese, and 1 of 3 children are packing on the pounds.
Now, I just got my body mass index, or BMI, assessed, and I'm at about 22.48, which lets me fall underneath the healthy category. However, a BMI of 30.5 falls under the obese category. 1 in 3 Georgia adults are obese.
Nutritionist Catherine Ingerson wants Georgians to know what foods can prevent obesity.
That would include fruits and vegetables at every single meal, and whole grains. When you have protein, making sure it's a lean protein source, and then focusing on heart-healthy fats like fish, nuts, seeds, and vegetable oils.
Simple things like running, riding a bike, or even walking can help Georgia drop a few pounds.
If you'd like to know more information about obesity in the state and the nation, visit obesity.uga.edu.
So Wendell, tell me, what are some diseases that children and adults with obesity face?
Well, obese adults are at an increased risk for over 20 major chronic diseases, including cardiovascular disease and stroke, while children are more at risk for hypertension and sleep apnea. So it's kind of a negative slope either way.
It's sad either way. Thanks, Wendell.
After the break, I'll let you know if this gorgeous weather is here to stay.
So, what's it gonna be? Could ride bikes, movies, zoo?
Can we just do this?
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Yeah, we can just do this.
Take time to be a dad today.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
This place needs me here to start. This place is the beat of my heart. Oh, 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 my heart.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Are you looking for the latest news? Did you know that you can get the latest from the resources of UGA Newsource even when we're not on your television? Community news delivered directly to your newsfeed when you follow Grady Newsource on Facebook and on Twitter.
Welcome back. Anna McClure has our weather update for us today. Anna, how does it look out there?
It's absolutely gorgeous out here, Sana. If you haven't had a chance to make it outside today, I encourage you to come outside now and enjoy this beautiful weather while it lasts. Taking a look at our current conditions, we can see that it's about 63 degrees outside right now. It did get to a high of 66 today, but there's a slight breeze now. It's cooling down and the sun is still shining. Looking at our overnight tonight, we can see that it is going to cool down all across northeast Georgia, getting to about 42 in Athens and 36 in Blairsville. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we can see that we can expect cloudy weather. It is going to rain tomorrow afternoon and it's going to be very windy. Looking ahead at our highs for tomorrow, you can expect it to be 68 in Athens, 66 in Toccoa, 63 in Blairsville. Then tomorrow's lows, it'll be cooling down to about 49 in Athens and Toccoa, and cooling down in Blairsville to about 45 degrees. If you're trying to plan your day tomorrow, you can take a look at our day planner. We're going to have partly cloudy skies up until about noon tomorrow. Temperatures are going to get up to about 68 degrees, but in the afternoon you can expect rain and wind. The wind is actually supposed to reach about 15 miles per hour, so I encourage you to bring a windbreaker or a rain jacket, whatever it's going to take to battle this weather we're going to be experiencing tomorrow afternoon. Looking into our 5-day forecast, we can see that the next few days in Athens are going to be some dreary ones. It's going to rain Wednesday and Thursday with a high of 68. There's a glimmer of sunshine on Friday, but that's just leading us into another rainy weekend. Florida State University is looking to combat with UGA meteorologists on campus. The Doppler radar on wheels visited the University of Georgia yesterday afternoon. This Doppler radar car can withstand up to 250 mile-per-hour winds. It has a 25,000-watt generator and a street-legal radar dash. The Mack truck survived Hurricane Ida in 2009 when it collected about 5 hours of data. Dr. Peter Ray, an FSU meteorology professor, custom-built the moving Doppler radar in 2002. That's all I have for weather out here, but Jody Gasparic is in the newsroom to let you know what's coming up in sports.
Tomorrow's a big day for UGA football. Find out what you can expect from UGA's 2012 recruiting class next on Grady Newsource.
Are you looking for the latest news? Did you know that you can get the latest from the resources of UGA Newsource even when we're not on your television? Community news delivered directly to your newsfeed when you follow Grady Newsource on Facebook and on Twitter.
Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. You'll discover healthy and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until there's no secret that makes you smile. Reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this year.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
The 9/11 memorial is for my 343 brothers who didn't make it.
And for my brother.
This shows the world that we can rebuild.
And that we are strong.
It's for the heroes like my dad.
This year, the National September 11th Memorial opens in New York City. Join us to honor, remember, and reunite. You can help right now by texting the word HOPE to 80088 to give $10.
You see this, folks? I'm crossing my fingers, and if you're a UGA fan, you should be too, and that's because Joshua Harvey Clemens is still on the board, and he still has Georgia on his mind. Clemens is the #1 ranked recruit in the state of Georgia, according to ESPN.com. The 6'5", 200-pound linebacker has narrowed his choices to UGA, FSU, and Florida. He is set to make his decision tomorrow at 9:05 a.m. Now let's take a look at what you can expect tomorrow in the recruiting class. Here's a look at some of the top recruits that have verbally committed to play between the hedges next year. 5-star running back Keith Marshall heads the class so far, and our highly rated defense will get some help with the addition of D-tackle Jonathan Taylor and D-end Jordan Jenkins. Now, there's still a few recruits that the Dogs are trying to get their hands on. I already mentioned Joshua Harvey Clemens, but offensive tackle Avery Young and JUCO wide receiver Cordarrelle Patterson are also big names that could end up in Athens next year. Now, ESPN.com has UGA ranked at the 5th overall recruiting class in the nation. And after tomorrow is said and done, we may be looking at a Dream Team 2.0. Media Day for the Super Bowl kicked off earlier today in Indianapolis. Reporters got a shot to ask players and coaches some questions about the big game. Tom Brady talked about what he and the Patriots need to do to get the win over the New York Football Giants.
I'm going to make sure I don't throw any interceptions. I'm going to make sure I try to play really well. We can't go out there and make mistakes and expect to win. We got to go out there and play a very clean game.
Now, the first time these two teams faced off, Brady threw for 2 picks en route to a 24-20 loss.
Okay, so Joey, who do you think is going to win?
Well, Tom Brady was on my fantasy team this year that won me a championship, so I got to go with the Pats on it.
Well, I'm going to have to agree too.
Oh, that's good.
And after the break, find out why UGA seniors have a reason to celebrate this week.
God, that was good.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Play your part in the circle of life. Take time to be a dad today. Visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
The tragedy of September 11th united our country. This year, as we open the 9/11 Memorial in New York City, we ask that you join us to honor, remember, and reunite. You can help right now by texting the word HOPE to 80088 to give $10.
If you're looking for a new pet that you can cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are full of healthy, loyal, fun, loving pets, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, you can visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Are you looking for the latest news? Did you know that you can get the latest from the resources of UGA Newsource even when we're not on your television? Community news delivered directly to your newsfeed when you follow Grady Newsource on Facebook and on Twitter.
Welcome back, and we're going to have a quick weather update with Anna McClure.
Hi, I'm here to tell you a little bit more about our 5-day forecast. As you can see, the next couple days in Athens, it is going to be a little rainy outside. It's going to be 68 degrees high Wednesday and Thursday.
Sorry about the mic. We'll get back to you on that 5-day forecast.
And some UGA students have a reason to celebrate the next 100 days. The 12th annual 100 Days Until Graduation event begins tomorrow. There will be live music and free food for seniors from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. in Tate Grand Hall. Seniors will be able to visit tables hosted by the UGA Career Center, the UGA Alumni Association, and their school or college alumni representative to prepare for graduation.
Now, Joey Gasparic has some incredible video of what some are calling the dunk of the year in the NBA. Let's see it, Joey.
Now, Sana, you don't want to miss this. Now, the LA Clippers were taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder last night when Blake Griffin just got plain silly.
It's a physical game. Oh, me, oh, my. A monster jam by Blake Griffin.
Now, I'm going to slow things down here so you can check it out from a few angles. Just an outstanding display of athleticism right here. Look at this. Boom, over Kendrick Perkins. Wow. Don't want to be Kendrick Perkins today. Now, I would call it a slam dunk, but that would disrespect what he did. That right there, Sana, that was a thunder dunk.
All right. Thank you, Joey.
Yeah, well, the Clippers went on to win the game 112-100, so they got the win.
Now, I guess that truly was a thunder dunk. Thank you so much for watching Grady Newsource. It's the end of tonight's show, but local news never stops.
Grady Newsource has you covered whether you're at home or on the go. Catch news updates, stories, and more on our Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube accounts. Good night, and thank you for joining us.
The views expressed do not represent those of the University of Georgia administration nor the Board of Regents of the university system.